Hot like pepper. Hot like pepper. Shh. Check. 1 2 1 2. Yo, I'm coming through loud and clear. What's going on, mother lovers? Yeah, we're back again, man. Something you might not never know nothing about with your host right here, Mys Diggy Jizz and Jets. Yeah, you know it's not after hours yet, so I gotta hold it down. I'm here with my co-host Dan DNA. What's going on, bruv?
I'm good.
You good?
Yes.
Ready to go? Roaring?
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Let me just get you a screen so you can see what's going on.
Yeah. I need to see what's going on, man. Big up all the uncommon sensors. Let me get that right, man. Big up all the uncommon sensors locked in already, man. You know we love you lot. Temple, Idol, blessings, man. Yes, Temple, big up, man. We're trying to work out who Temple is because we feel like we might know who that is. But we're not sure. Shout out to Liz Williams in the building. What's going on? Yes. Big up. Yeah, more. What's going on? Brap. She says brap. What's that name say? Oh.
Packet loss.
See, I was about to say, I thought I was like, right, I'll have to radio edit that name there. But yeah, Packet Loss. Big up to Packet Loss. In the building. Bless, man. Yep, coming through loud and clear. That's good to hear, man. Glad people are there. Something you might not never know nothing about. Last week we had a wicked show. You know what I mean? It was a very good chat.
Yeah.
See through the script came through. Canadian connection. Master in numerology. He probably wouldn't want me to say that, but I feel like he is, man. He breaks down stuff very well and makes you see through the script for real, man. So you lot should check out that last show, episode 65. If you want to find out what we're getting into. It got quite like very deep, very interesting. And it's a blessing to get his time, man. I'm sure we'll be able to do it again. What's fun about it is like the fact that it's like someone on the other side of the world that's seeing similar stuff, and it's not like he's very calm about it. There's no signs of it overbearing him, or any paranoia.
No signs of schizophrenia.
Yeah, and you're just like, yo, that's someone with they're grounded enough. You know what I mean? To be able to see through it all and be like, yo, it's so much of a joke that actually you don't have to be paranoid and schizophrenic like you say about things.
Yeah, I think he was even more, he seemed it anyway. I mean, maybe last time when we had him on that he was, because it's like first time on a show sort of thing, but this time he was a lot more comfortable and he seemed like even less attached to it all.
Yeah. I think just the amount of stuff that he's probably since then that I've seen him, put out there, and it's just like, no wonder, it's a similar thing with DVG.
Yeah.
Where, he was just like, bruv, I'm at the point now where, like, when I just see things in the news, I see, like, all these headlines, I'm just like, because he realizes it's just like a game. It's like,
He just looks at his watch. He's like, 26th February, 5. All right, okay.
Yeah, makes sense, man. Yes. Big up to Alan Stephen or Ellen Stevens. Should I be saying it Stephen or Stephen? Alan Stephen. Shout out to Mr. Green. What's going on, bruh? 420, as bad as marijuana. Hey, 420. 42. That's the number 42 right there.
6.
Yep. See it there. Packet Loss is saying it's a circus and we have front row seats. You're not lying there. You're not lying, man. And it gets a bit boring after a while, but every time when you come back to hearing what's the next thing everyone's going crazy about, like, oh my gosh, for real. And people are they're upset about that. But, I say that, there are people out there fighting over their football teams and that, like beefs, you know,
Yeah.
cussing each other out. Like, who was I chatting to? I was chatting to my brethren, and he's saying, yeah, there's like a Facebook group they've got where they talk about football and all that, and how people get kicked out because it gets that deep, you know what I mean? That they start cussing each other. I was like, right, what? Do people like pick fights and say, watch when I see you? He's like, yeah, there's that kind of talk. Watch when I see you. Over these lot supporting a football team. Just think about that. They go on to, you know what I mean? Fix themselves up to go onto whether it be their phone, their laptop, computer, you know what I mean, little iPad, whatever it is, to like argue about some team, like a bunch of other guys that are earning a lot of money for kicking the ball around, and you know what I mean? It's nuts, man. And actually looking to pick a fight, like going, right, bruv, watch, look, WATH, you know what I mean? When I see, like, bruv, really? It's nuts, man. It's nuts. So, yeah, it shouldn't be surprising to us, you know what I mean? But, yeah, front row seats, boy. Just rolling up. Yeah, let's get the roll call in early because, you know what I mean? Sometimes I think we miss out.
Yeah.
And I don't get to find out what people are blazing on.
Yeah. There's sometimes people are a bit too gone to be able to remember. I've noticed that a lot. As if you ask later on, they're like, I don't know what I'm smoking.
Yeah, I think that was... It's true, boy.
I can't remember the name of what it is.
Man, yeah, that's them Amsterdam days when you used to have to go to Amsterdam to get proper baked and that.
Yeah.
And then, bam, you bought like 6, 7 different strains of whatever. You got a bit of this hash, you got some of this bud, that bud, da. Yeah. And that's like from morning. You know what I mean? Bam. Evening comes now. You don't even know what you're blazed on. You don't know what tastes like what. Everything tastes the same. You just got munchies coming from every orifice.
4 bags of all different types of. You just hold it up as bits in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that one. Yeah, I don't know. It's all just smell the same.
Yeah, just roll this one. You feel like you rolled the same one. Yeah, boy. Those were the days. But now it all happens here, just outside of Amsterdam, where we are based, a secret location.
They're stopping the coffee shops, aren't they? They're putting restrictions on them in Amsterdam.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
In Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. Because
they're putting restrictions on coffee shops in Amsterdam. So they're going to stop.
I think they're banning coffee shops in the red light district. Or something. And then they've got like a new thing of that they're going to have to close at a certain time. And there's loads of they're basically bringing out all these new restrictions in Amsterdam to do with curbing. They're trying to sort of put a stop to people just going over there and getting absolutely hammered and then wandering around the streets fighting people and, you know, drinking and smoking together sort of thing. They're trying to, I think they're closing bars at 12 or something, whereas they used to close at 2.
They're trying to clean it up.
Yeah.
They'll be getting the...
Rob was telling me about it. I read something and then Rob was like, yeah, they are. They're doing a load of new stuff there.
Wow, they're going to try and clean it up. So during like the Rona, the lockdowns and all that, obviously red light district weren't running, were they?
I think so. I think you just had to wear a mask.
Wow. That's crazy, boy. Imagine that.
I think they brought stuff in during then, and now they're increasing it all. I'm pretty sure in 2020 they brought a load of restrictions in. Rob would know anyway.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy though, boy. If damn, but I suppose Spain is still open, like Barcelona and all that. They're still running with it.
Yeah.
That's like the new Amsterdam. A lot of people saying.
Yeah.
Because obviously, things have changed and that.
What do they call them over there?
What?
The things you have in Barcelona, they're like a different name. It's not like coffee shops, like
members club.
Some like, kind of club thing.
Smoke club, right? Yeah. Because and that's like that's kind of similar to what can happen like places like here, where you have to make it like a private members club. therefore, you know, the fact that people that have to pay an entry and then they've kind of, you know, they've consented to whatever goes on behind it. You know what I mean? There's something like that. And so I think similar thing can run here. It's just someone's got to know how to do it. Who knows how to do it? Do you know what I mean? You got something going on. Yes, Alan Stephen. Yes, man. The Arches. Yeah, I remember that, man. That was a good night. Got to rock with the old schoolers right there, boy.
So here it says the council's already closed a third of coffee shops.
In Amsterdam.
Where we are, there are only 8 coffee shops left, and in the same zip code, 500 places that serve alcohol. That was Joachim Helms, a coffee shop owner.
Imagine that. Listen to that. That is deep, bruv. That's deep. When you think about the fact that, and there's still 500 places that sell alcohol, yeah? We all know how alcohol can deal with certain people. You know what I mean? Not everybody, but there's certain people, they go to that sunken place. They go, it's like, have a few drinks, then bam, you see them in that place. You look at them, you're like, yeah, we should probably bounce from here. They just switch to that angry dude. You're like, bruv, you were calm before, cracking joke, this, that, and the third. Now, after a couple of whiskeys, you're slumped. After 2 Stellas, you're slumped and you look pissed off. You look like you're ready to kick off with someone right now. And any excuse.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't get that with weed.
Nah.
You don't get, if anything, you get the complete you get people, you'll get the big, most brolickest, fresh out of jail list. You know what I mean? 5, Biba's foot size is like 15. Yo, give him a little bit of green that and he ain't blazed for a bit. That's it. He's turning into a little rabbit, soft little rabbit. You're like, you'll need to stroke him. And trust me, man. It's the complete opposite. Do you know what I mean? And they want to get rid of that. They'd rather people were out there possibly crashing into each other, you know, fighting, you know, what, like, look at man, that's crazy. And they want to lock it off. I remember going to 420. Someone mentioned 420, funny enough, in Hyde Park. I think it was like 2018, maybe 2016, 17 or 18. Jammer, and it was like 20,000. They said there was about 20,000 people there. Feds were there, police were there, and all that walking around. But what could they do? There's the people who were blazing it up, and I had to ask a Fed, like, honestly, if all these people, if they were here and it was, you know, alcohol they were drinking instead of weed, they were smoking, you know, do you think it would be as calm as this, as easy, you know, your job would be as easy as this? He's like, nah, definitely not. Do you know what I mean? People know. When you got to drive, when you drive drunk, you're like, anyway, man, my inhibitions, you're all over the place. Drive on green, you're like, yo, yeah, let me make sure, my lights, all the car. Like, you're the safest driver. You're the safest driver, like one could imagine. You know what I mean?
What's worse, drinking after smoking or smoking after drinking? What one? Do you know what I mean? What one affects people worse? Do they both lead to, you know, do you feel sick with both of them?
I think smoking after drinking is usually the one that
will make you ill with it.
People. Yeah, that's what turns people.
Yeah.
Is like, have a drink, and then when they're already twist up, and then it's a whole nother vibe now that's coming in when you blaze a zoo, and especially if it's someone who knows how to roll it like that. And then you just see people start spinning.
Yeah, because I've seen people who are looking aggressive on alcohol have like a couple of bits of a spliff, and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna have to sit down. That is usually the way to deal with them. It's like if you know what I mean, if they're getting aggressive, you're like,
smoke some of this. For real, what's they just? They'll be like, right, bro, no, smoke some of it. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go sit over there for a bit. Fucking hell, it's hot in here, isn't it? Like, spit it out, boy. Spit out, bruv. Yeah, that's probably the best way to deal with it as well. Like, you're a bad man. Yeah, Blaze, man. Blaze, man. Like, they can't say no, innit? Like, yeah, I'm up. Yeah, that's deep, man. Big up King Chico in the building. What's good, man? The family are there. Big up IBMCs. Bang, bang, bong. What we saying then, man? What's the roll call saying? I didn't really see no responses.
This is from Ryan, the Amsterdam fishmonger. Banning tourists is very hardcore. There are guys who come and say, we want some fried cod. We're going to show a lot less fish to people who are stoned. I don't see a bright side. So his complaint is that they're not going to sell as much cod because people won't be stoned.
What? So
he's admitting people only eat fish.
Like
his cod when they're stoned.
Yeah, see, cod is
what a weird thing to admit. Just say that people like your food.
It is kind of weird though. Like, you know what I mean? He's kind of, he's putting it out there that cod ain't really all that. And I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't all that, to be honest, because it seems to be the go-to, like, cod and chips, mate. Yeah, there's no, like, haddock and chips.
It's also Amsterdam. They're not known for their cod, are they?
Nah.
What are they known? What's Amsterdam known? What's Holland known for? Pancakes. That's what I remember when I went to Amsterdam the first time. I was like, I've got to get a pancake. Yeah,
that's like when the school. There are different eras in it of what is like the general. Yeah.
Obviously.
To be pancakes, pigtails, and Like.
No, you can get pancakes anywhere. Back then, you could only get them at home or in Amsterdam. There was one in Chelsea, wasn't there? Pancake Mild Dutch or something it was called.
Oh yeah, little
pancake place in King's Road.
Yeah. Wow. That's the game done changed with that. Crepes, innit? Crepes. Yeah. You don't really get that as much now. Unless you go to a festival. Oh yeah, crepe, man. I ain't had a crepe in time, man. When's the last time you had a crepe? Boy, I think it was the last time I was at this festival. Crepe just ain't about all that. Is that crepe? No, it's pancake, man. Man. Come, man. Pancake day was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the game done changed, boy. Food ain't the same.
Imagine how many pancakes people used to eat when Pancake Day comes about and you're not allowed to eat any of the ingredients that make a pancake after that. That must mean that people used to eat a lot of pancakes before.
Yeah.
Did they, or is it just like, what can we make with the things we're not allowed to eat? You can only make pancakes.
It's true. It's true though. It's got to have been an accident, innit? Pancake. It's just like, what are you doing? I don't know, man. Just
all this shit we're not allowed to eat. I've just thrown it all in one thing and fried it.
Oh, and then it don't look like all the stuff we're not supposed to eat anymore. So yeah.
It tastes like shit, man. I'm gonna put some sugar and lemon on it.
Yeah.
What we got?
Try some chocolate.
Man.
Man.
Try a bit of jam. Put anything on it.
Yeah,
but the best ones are the savoury ones. No, they're not.
That's when the beef starts. That's not a pancake. Yeah, I know it's not a pancake. What is that then? It's a crepe. It's a crepe. What? A crepe. Nah, man, that's a pancake, bro. But they start beefing over what kind of pancake. You got like the New York style pancakes in it, and then
because American, their breakfast pancakes are really thick, aren't they? Like big, thick, like almost like
dough.
Yeah, they're almost just like a sort of bready.
Yeah, it's almost bread, but
yeah.
Like you need the syrup. They ain't you ain't getting through that. If you ain't got no juice or no nothing, you ain't getting through that like without choking.
Oh, Liz Williams Scotch pancakes. That's what they are. Those American ones. Yeah, because America doesn't really invent anything. It's just they just take other people's stuff and name it American.
Well, yeah, it's other people moved there. And then,
yeah. So that's the Scotch, definitely. Yeah, Scotch in the south somewhere, and then they've obviously took pancakes over there.
Yeah, that's well spotted. That's something we might not have never known nothing about right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Liz Williams. Yeah, for real, man. What? So I think was it? Alan was saying that every 5 years or so they crack down on the coffee shops or trance parties, as far as you can see it. So it seems like that might be that. You know, when it's like they got to fill in a quota for a certain time.
Yeah.
You know, we see it here. It's like all of a sudden the roads is like, yeah, look out! Like people will be giving you updates and that. Yeah, look out! They're stopping cars on the A40 by blah blah blah. You know, and it's happening all over London, all over the UK. Like they got to fill a quota by then if we ain't arrested enough people and we ain't, if we ain't put out enough fines, then what are we doing here? What's the point of us being here? Do you know what I mean? So we got to get out there. I'm just doing my job, like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's all them man there. That's, I mean. So we see it. Maybe that's what's happening, but I've got a feeling, do you know what I mean? With them bringing in all of this BS that they're trying to bring in, I've got a feeling that, they're trying to crack it down a little bit. But saying that, there will always be a red light district in Amsterdam. Somehow, some way. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I think it's to do with like, let me just try and see if I can find it. I think there's something to do with like trying to ban the illegal drug trade, and so they're like clamping down on the red light district because that's where all the illegal drugs are.
Yeah.
Because it's just Rob said, it might not have been Rob, it might have been what I was reading about, is that there are just people selling drugs on the streets now instead of coffee shops in the red light district, selling all sorts of hard drugs. So that's becoming like a bit of a problem, is it?
Oh, so they're trying to clean that up.
As well as like tourists going there and thinking, oh, we can just do what we want. It's Amsterdam. It's like party town. There's actually people coming to deal drugs there because they think it's just like a free-for-all.
Yeah, that's a funny thing, that, isn't it? When you think about like, people, because of what it is, you know what I mean? But what do you expect at the end of the day? If you're allowing that, you're one of the only places in the world where, do you know what I mean? There's very few places where it's like so blatantly in your face, and you'll be walking down the street, one side it'll be little girls' tits out, this, that, and the third, and then you turn to the other side and some woman taking her kid home from school and shit. You're like, what the hell is this? Is like, what? Do you know what I mean? So what do they expect, really? But
have you heard of Freetown Christiana in Denmark as well?
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Yeah, that's a pretty mad place.
Similar sort of, well, it's how people imagine Amsterdam is, I suppose, isn't it? It's like open. There's no laws there, basically.
Yeah, so apparently, like these
micronation.
Yeah, these people sort of squatted there.
Yeah,
in this
that's
area.
It, yeah.
Where did you say it's Helsinki, right?
Denmark.
In Denmark, yeah, and they started squatting there, and then it got to the point where there were enough people there where they could all chip in, and I think they bought part of the properties there or something like that.
Yeah, it's a. I'm just seeing if I can get it up on the screen for you. Hold on.
Yeah, and then alongside the government, in some way, they've ended up like they have the majority, so it's literally their little, do you know what I mean? Their little square mile type thing, and they've got their own laws, but you're not allowed to sell drugs and all that. People do get done, like they've got dispensaries and all that people set up anyway, but they do get done by the police every now and again. But otherwise, everyone else is like, they're living their life.
Yeah, so if you look there, it's on the screen.
Oh, so Freetown Christiana, also known as Christiana, is an intentional community, a commune and micronation in the Christianshavn neighborhood of the Danish capital city of Copenhagen. So it began in 1971 as a squatted military base. That's it. Its Pusher Street is famous for its open trade of cannabis, which is illegal in Denmark. So that's quite crazy. It's one of them places where you can get done quite hard for blazing, but they were selling it in there and getting away with it. Christiana is considered to be the fourth largest tourist attraction in Copenhagen. Imagine that, with 500,000 visitors annually. The residents of Christiana are called Christianit or Christianshavna and Amagakana because Christiana is located in the island of Amager. Ah, on the island of Amager. Amager, that's an interesting name. 1976 protest song, I Kan Ik Sla Os Hijel, I think. You Cannot Kill Us, written by Tom London of Flower Power rock group Bitfrost, became the unofficial anthem of Christiana. The flag of Christiana is a red banner with 3 yellow discs representing the dots in each or in Christiana. All right. So what they say, no private cars are allowed. Residents with cars park on streets surrounding the Freetown. After negotiating with city authorities, Christiana has agreed to establish parking areas for residents, own cars on its territory. As of 2005, parking space for only 14 cars can be established in the area. Jeez, that's like owning the land, bruv. You can't even park your car here. Imagine. That's crazy, man. So yeah, as you can see, it's got quite an extensive history right there.
Yeah.
Christiana.
It turned into like a gang. Look, during the 80s, motorcycle gangs fought their way into Christiana, seeking to gain control over the drugs market. One gang in particular, the Bullshit Gang, or Bullshitters, managed to fight off a chapter of the Hells Angels to establish sole control of the drug market by 1984. And then in 2000s, a gang shot and killed a man in Christiana.
Injured 3 cannabis. Wow. Christiana, boy.
24th of April, 22-year-old man, part of his jaw blown off by a hand grenade.
Oof. Wow.
It's a bit lively in there, you could say.
Yeah, boy. No, it got that deep.
There's only 14 car parking spaces.
Yeah. There's got to be beef in it. Of course there's got to be beef. Only 40 car park spaces is like, yo, bruv, that's my spot. My spot. I give you some weed. Get the fuck out of it. Bow, bow. Yeah, boy. Copenhagen ain't playing around, man.
No.
Yeah, that's right. Spain is a cool place to grow. Packet losses definitely right about that. I know a few people that are out there now getting their graft in. Do you know what I mean? Members clubs and medicinal dispensaries in Spain. You're more right about that. That's how they run it. You know what I mean? We can learn from that. People got to learn somehow, some way.
Dispensaries. That's the word.
Dispensaries, yes. Yeah, I remember my first time going to a dispensary, man, in when I was in California and LA, and it was so weird. It's so different because like Amsterdam, you know what it's like. So every time you go there, it's like like coffee shop vibes, and you come and look at this smoke, this spliff, and you can find out whether you like the hash or But in there, it was like in America, it was like right, you go in. And then you feel like you're on set, like you're on some kind of, it's all just clean and people walking around. And then there's like all these packets of sweets and cakes and all that over here. And then there's like all these, dispensary blocks full of like different buds and all that. And then like a guy comes up, excuse me, sir, can we help you? And, like he's looking at him and he looks blazed. He looked high. I was like, yeah, I want to, what are you on? Like, I want to find out what you, he started cracking up. But yeah, it's quite surreal when you first walk into one of them places. It's like, wow, like, you can never imagine it being this way.
Yeah, they've got that music like, boom, 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 like really, and like the sound of water.
Yeah.
Like really peaceful in there, yeah.
They don't want you to be paranoid. You see?
Yeah. Like a sort of like a new age health shop.
Yeah.
The
coffee shops in Amsterdam, it was so about the business. Like in the my heyday, which was like going in the 90s, noughties, and all that, was like you'd go in, depending on where you went, of course. But it'd be like a fresh batch of people going in now, picking their buds, like looking to buy whatever. Yeah, get this, I'll get that. Oh yeah, do you only for the papers? Sit down now, everyone rolling their stuff, and then they've got some music that's just like cool, kind of funk, or something that just keeps people rolling. It might be some hip hop stuff like you bopping, and then bam, like once he's like sparked up, keep it going. It might be Saturday, din, 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 you know what I mean? Everyone chatting, yeah, they can tell like you're good, you've landed. You got your different buds. Yeah, you're looking at each other's little buds and that. Yeah, excuse me, can we get some milkshakes? And then bam, like once they know that the highs come in now, like switch to some reggae shit like boom, 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 boom.
True.
You know what I mean? Roll the next one. And they might carry that on for a bit now, like, because they're like, yeah, everyone's blazed out. And it's like the whole room's on the same vibe. They might be bunning different strains or whatever, but they're on the similar vibe.
Yeah.
Ram went, and then as soon as they see like, right, everyone's like, yeah, a little bit stoned. Bang, 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 bang. There's like that's it. Like that, boom, so bang, 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 bang.
They put on the music they wanted to put on at the beginning.
They're like, yo, they like, yeah, people just wake up, bang, 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 yeah. Hey, can we get some, get coffees? Yeah, no, bro, another one. Hey, wake up, man. What's up? Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Let's just go with the flow, boy. You're like, right, these lot know exactly what they're doing out here, man. They take you on a journey with that. Those were the days, boy. Those were the days. Wank, bang, 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 bang. Yeah, all right, bro, turn it down now. Like, calm down. Like, not all of us, we're not all on the same. Bang, bang, bang. Like, come on, man. Yeah, that shit, boy. Those were the days, mate. I tell ya. But yeah, I guess I didn't. Obviously, it's got to be like that, innit? Like Mr. Green saying that Amsterdam is sick of being a sort of drug capital, and it's true. And let alone even the whole, prostitution side of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that's never going to be looked at as that's it's always going to be looked at as smarmy and dirty, and so it's like there probably comes a time where they're like, yeah, we cannot represent ourselves in this way anymore. You know,
I think the locals, people who live in Amsterdam, because it's only a small city, there's only 1 million people there, so it's a tiny city. It's a tenth of Greater London if you think about the size of Amsterdam, and it's an international city, and so I think people that actually live in Amsterdam are not really into the whole thing of like, coming out of your front door and someone's pissing up against your wall or something, and they've got all those plastic toilets, they're all over the place that people can use. But I think that sort of, it's relentless, tourism going there and people seeing it as this place that like, sort of, you're right, there's almost no laws there. You can drink and smoke and go to prostitutes and all this stuff, but it's like people still have to get up in the morning and go to work and walk past you in a doorway or being sick or something, I think if you live there, it probably is a little bit, relentless.
Yeah, and you growing up in it as well.
Yeah.
And then you've seen other places where it's like,
if anything, that was what would put you off.
This is what normal is.
That's what would put you off of doing all that, is like seeing how much people abuse it. I suppose that's sort of one of the things that would stop people doing it, is that they see it every day to the point where they're like, oh, I'm sick of seeing people wandering around stoned all the time or whatever, I mean, you might not think to yourself that they're drinking and smoking, so that's why they're a bit, throwing up and sort of wobbling all over the street and all that sort of thing. Well, because a lot of people, they do go there with their mates and they don't smoke really, but they do because they're in Amsterdam. And then, they might be having a bit too much. The whitey boy. Yeah.
And that whitey hits, boy. Jeez, that's it.
And if you're a little kid seeing all that, oh, God, yeah. The sweat feeling. Yeah.
Sweat with the sweat balls and then all the pale. Just go pale, and then it's like, oh, that's
and that thing on the back of your mouth, there's like your sort of taste buds start watering. Yeah.
And, trying to keep it together, but
yeah,
they got to put that, they put the elbows on the table, just like try to keep the head up, but like, I'll keep it together. Like you don't even want to think about who's looking at you right now. You don't even want to think about that shit. You're just like, no, let me just keep if I can just keep myself up for another 10 minutes. Breathe. Please get the water. No, I feel the water. I feel sick, man. I'm dry, man. You all right? Yeah. Bro, you all right? You all right? Yeah, I'm cool, man. Huh? I'm cool, man. Like, you don't even try to... Mate, bruv, I'm not trying to have a conversation right now. I'm just trying to keep myself together. I'm trying to keep my life sorted out.
And then people can't resist as well, just having, when they're like, do you want some of that? And they're like, I got it, yeah. just like one of them just pass it on. They're like,
yeah, oh god, good, no, good. Like, bro, that was I remember with Blue that happened, man. It's like, yo, out. And my man still, he's like, yeah, let me try and roll another. I'm like, bro, stop trying to, you know, stop, drink some water. But yeah, what they do is whenever, because that happens a lot with people, what they do is they just run around, give you some glucose, they give you some sugar water.
yeah.
And then that sorts them out. But you see them just like come alive after about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, it's a good thing with Amsterdam is you've got hot chocolate there. You've got, you know,
man, that was. What's going on then? You know, like
it's basically a hypo.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
Yeah,
It just needs some sugar.
yeah,
And bring them back out a bit.
yeah. That sorts them life out, boy.
Yeah.
Jeez, dangerous times, man. Yeah, but whenever you do get into some dangerous times, ladies and gentlemen, let's speak about some. When I'm talking dangerous times, I mean them times where you might be feeling wide awake and you need to get some sleep. Or you might be feeling very sleepy, mad tired, and you need to be wide awake. This can help you either way. You know what I'm talking about. It's that all-important CBD, mother lover. That's right. And if you want to get the perfect CBD product, you get on over to cannacersuk.com. Let's talk about some of the benefits, man. Quickly. Can calm epilepsy. Could relieve anxiety and depression. Reduce inflammation. Help improve cancer-related symptoms. Could relieve pain. Can help with multiple sclerosis. May relieve nerve pain, neuropathy. Can combat addiction. You know what I mean? Some of you lot might have certain addictions out there you're trying to get rid of. CBD can help with that. Can benefit healthy skin. Can help with arthritis. Help treat lupus. And these are all facts that can be checked, of course. You know what I mean? There's research backed. When you look at the, the benefits of CBD, it's quite amazing. And you can get these types of products from Cannaceres UK. You can get CBD infused chocolates, whether you like dark chocolate or you like milk chocolate. You can get balms, CBD infused balms with coconut oil, and these can help with your aches and pains, with your rashes. You can get yourself some oil spray, whether you want the indica or the sativa, or you want full spectrum. You can get oil spray, and this is very good for relaxing or picking you up. Whichever you need, baby, whichever you need. And also you got the chocolate stirrers. You know, I can't miss out on the chocolate stirrers because they're quite amazing. Fill up your cup with some hot water. Just put the chocolate stirrer in there. Let that start melting away. Then swirl. You know what I mean? Do that a few minutes. Bam, you got yourself a banging hot chocolate infused with Cannaceres UK CBD. Make sure when you pick up your products, when you get to the checkout, you type in that all-important SYMNNKNA. That's SYMNNKNA. And you'll get yourself 20% off any order. CannacersUK.com. Mother lovers. Yeah, that felt smooth right there. Mother lovers bit. So I've got echo. Mother lovers.
Oh, hang on.
Lovers.
Hang on.
Uh-oh. D's been on the graft again. Uh-oh.
Wait, where's my? Oh, I could have. No, because I've got to work out how to actually do it. And
okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Amsterdam. Yeah, boy. But yeah, man, we were going to talk about our weekend. Just gone. Yeah, it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. Make sure you hit the like button, please. Also, share the link if you can. If you're not subscribed, please do already. Also, subscribe to the new channel. We'll get all the links in the description. We appreciate all you mother lovers locking in, man. Wanted to catch up with the crew. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, we'll have some footage like later on anyway of it. But we thought, yeah, we'd come in and catch up on how the weekend went, man, because it was a nice, busy one. Especially 50 years of hip-hop, mother lovers. Can you believe it, D? 50 years of this.
50 years of this. Yeah, so...
Very interesting.
There's going to be a lot of things going on this year, I think, to do with it. I'm just getting the Connoisseur's web address for Alan Stephen.
Oh, I can put it in there.
Oh, okay, you got it.
Yeah.
And big up Irish as well for the super chat.
Oh, salute Irish, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Appreciated, man.
Always love, man. Always. We got to do his read in a sec. But yeah, man. Very interesting times. You know, there's a lot, like you said, there's going to be a lot of celebrations, and too right, man. I think, you know, I think like it's a very good time to remind people, you know, of the impact of hip hop from the beginning, you know, how it even managed to get to where it is now. Like, because that side of things can often feel like it's been forgotten because of the position some of our elders might be in, or, you know, whoever's in the charts right now, or, you know, all that type of stuff. A lot of people talk about how, you know, in the hip hop world, they don't really treat their sort of veterans the same way they're treated in, say, the rock world. You know, like Pink Floyd would still be selling out stadiums and out, you know, all that sort of thing. And it's quite understandable. And so you do wonder whether it is because its heritage hasn't been kept alive as much as it could have been, or is it because people don't care? Do you know what I mean? Like, which of the two is it? But I think, you know, being that it's 50 years, it's definitely a good time for people to celebrate and remind people, like, where this shit came from. Do you know what I mean?
And there's also, like, quite a lot to try and keep up. So, and some of it requires that you have a lot of energy to maintain. So, like, breakdancing, it does require you having a lot of energy to maintain breakdancing. Yeah. So as you get towards your like 40s and 50s and 60s, some of them are now, it's sort of hard to keep breakdancing, I suppose. So you have to rely on younger people to come into it. And then I suppose younger people have taken some of that dance and turned it into other types of dance. And some people are a bit, you know, funny about it and like, oh, that's not really breakdancing. But in a way, it sort of is still, because it's got to evolve as well as knowing where it come from. It was also got to evolve, isn't it? You know, things have to sort of move. You wouldn't want everyone rapping the same way that they did on on the message.
There's always going to be variations, isn't it?
You know, there's always going to be exactly, and that's how something really evolves, is by creating lots of variations of it, and then one of them successful. And
you know what it's like? It's like when you hear someone, like, say we hear mumble rap, you hear mumble rap and you're just like, that's not really rapping or whatever. But then when you hear someone who can rap do a mumble rap style and you're going, right, that sounds sick. It's like, oh, you just need it to sound like good enough for you to accept it.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be that kind of, you know, hit and miss for people. Yeah. There's things that you might prefer in your, you know what I mean, spices for your food that others, they want a bit more. They want this and that. They don't mind, you know, going a bit mild or going, you know. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a funny one, man.
Yeah. And that's, you know, I think that's like, it makes hip hop different to a lot of other cultures, you know, a lot of other sort of genres and cultures, you know, musical cultures, is that it's got quite a lot of elements to it that make up
Yeah.
the whole thing, you know. So trying to maintain all of those, it is like spinning plates. Like you can't really focus on one of them without the others sort of falling to the wayside a little bit, you know.
Well, I think that kind of also applies to the being, you know, whoever is into the culture, which parts of the culture they're really into. There are some that were into all elements. They were into everything, and they tried a bit of everything, and then maybe went more with what worked for them, where there's some that just go for, you know, there's some that just like the DJing side of it. And then you've got within that some that prefer the party DJing side of it, or some that prefer the turntablism side of it.
Yeah.
You know, and then some of them are able to blend the two. So I think because of it being so vast in, you know, your outlet, your creative outlet, like there's a reason, you know, like even the graffiti side of it. Look at there's people that would just look at it and go, that's all graffiti, and where there's others in graffiti that will go, nah, that's graffiti. This is, you know, whatever, blah, 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 like some other.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's what makes it so cool as well. So like, it's become this massive entity, this thing that now so many people around the world can communicate through it in different ways, you know. So it's helped it, like more so than being any form of deficit, any form of like, you know, negative side to it. I think it's definitely helped it more.
Yeah.
It's how we're all communicating. You know, a lot of us have linked through the hip hop, the elements of hip hop in some form or way, you know? And so that's, that kind of just goes to show. So I think there's that. There's definitely that part of it as well. The boldness of the culture to be able to say like, oh, this shape isn't E, or that, you know, graphers, when they're doing their shapes and that, and like, well, what letter is that, you know? But then when they point it out, you see it and you're going, oh, shit. You know, they've made up a whole new font off of shapes or whatnot that you wouldn't have thought of. That's a whole nother level of skill compared to, you know, the turntablist dude or the beat maker dude or the, you know.
Or even, beatboxing. Look how that's evolved into like what it was to what it is now, you know, from like Dougie Fresh.
Yeah. Beardy Man.
Yeah.
Like I saw this advert recently, him like.
Or flute box.
Flute boxing even. Nathan Flute Box. Jeez, that's a whole nother, that's another branch right there.
Yeah.
He's got people that, can't remember what country it is, like, I can't even remember what country, somewhere in Eastern Europe, but like some kid that learned from watching Nathan Flute Box Lee on YouTube, and then, pardon me, became this like big star off the back of like something's got, Kazakhstan's got talent or whatever, and then became this big star off the back of it, and he's like, he owes it all to Nathan Flute Box, and you know, because he invented something right there, beatboxing into a flute. No one had done that before. And then, do you remember
how secretive he was about it? First of all, he wouldn't let people film him. He wouldn't let you, if you got your phone out, he would stop doing it. He was really protective over it. Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, and that's why, because it was obvious as soon as it got out. I've heard adverts on the radio where they have some flute box and then they go, "That's flute boxing. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? You can also get this amazing insurance deal." It's so shit, the advert. It's terrible, but
that's crazy.
It's just that it starts off with this flute box. It might even be Nathan. I don't know.
That's the levels, man. That's the levels they go to, boy. You know, and think about that. Where's that? Where did we go from? We went from Dougie Fresh all the way to that, you know, and that's where I'm saying the impact that hip hop has made, you know, culturally around the world, like literally, man. There's very few places I've been to where there hasn't been that connection, you know.
Yeah, and it transcends languages, and you know, and people can communicate through dancing, and you know, you get you get crews coming over from Poland and doing breaking battles with people, and they all know how you're meant to act. Nobody comes over with a different attitude. If you're into the b-boy thing, you're into the b-boy thing. You're not going to come over from the Czech Republic and be like, no, we have a really bad attitude when we do this stuff. It's all set already. Everyone knows the way you're going to act, even if you don't speak the same language. You see it. They all. It's all cordial. It's competitive, but it's still sort of done in good nature.
Yeah, and even like having communication with people about different artists as well. Like you can tell when you'll kind of connect with, like, oh, have you heard that album? Oh, what's your favorite tune on that album? Or different things like that really stand out. Yeah, man, definitely a big thing, man. But 50 years, mother lovers. So yeah, all right. Before we get into that though, let's give a shout out to the cmossboss.co.uk, mother lovers. If you want to get yourself some wild-crafted, 100% organic sea vegetables provided with the best Irish quality sea veg straight from the unspoiled coast of Donegal, also known as the Wild Atlantic Way. So that means you ain't getting no toxic waste in none of these bitches. You better, hey, trust me, man. Once you get involved, you can't go back, man. The Sea Moss Boss provides you with stuff such as Irish moss gels, also infused with bladderwrack. You can also get Irish moss on its own. You know what I mean? Make up your own gel. You can get yourself some spirulina, which apparently is very high in B vitamins. Very high, when I'm talking very, very high. Also, you can get yourself some dose, very high in B vitamins, iodine. Man, when it comes to the benefits of sea vegetables, very high in a lot of different micronutrients. Get yourself some bladderwrack, you know what I mean? That could sort your thyroids out, all the ladies out there. Get yourself some sea spaghetti, some wakame. Yeah, man, and the dose is bang, bang, 100%. Kelp as well. You know what I mean? Very high benefits, man. That's why we like to, put the word out for these mother lovers. Shout out to Richie and Toraine. You want to get yourself some sea vegetables from the cmossboss.co.uk, and when you get to the checkout, make sure you put in the word about 20. That's in uppercase. About 20, and you'll get yourself 20% off any of your orders from the cmossboss.co.uk, mother lovers. And trust, man, I was reading up on that, just about like things like wakame and whatnot. And wakame is like a good source of minerals like magnesium, iodine, calcium, and iron, as well as vitamins A, B2, C, D, and K. That's packed, man. It's packed, bruv. They ain't pushing that out there. They ain't telling you to go out there and eat that. Do you know what I mean? Why is that? Dose is packed, bruv. Look. Yeah. Provides a wealth of minerals, vitamins, fiber, and protein. It is high in iodine and trace minerals and contains 10 amino acids. So dose is an excellent source of calcium, potassium, magnesium, iron, iodine, manganese, copper, chromium, zinc, vitamins A, B1, B2, B3, B6, B12, C, and E. Come on. What more do you need? Like, do you know what I mean? It's nuts. Like, go and search for yourself. Don't believe me. You know what I mean? Don't believe what I'm looking on the internet right now and it's showing me this. But you don't have to believe me. Go and look for yourself. And then, even furthermore, what's even more telling is if you actually try the products yourself. If you're in tune with your body, do you know what I mean? In tune with yourself, you try the products. Spend a little change. Support, do you know what I mean? Independent retailers, man, trying to do their thing the best they can. Like when they're offering you quality products, try it out and see for yourself. Notice the difference in your body. if it works, if it doesn't work. When you see how it works, you're just like, yo, okay. Oh, this is what it is. So yeah, man. Shout out to the CMOS boss. Mr. Green's asking, when we getting some new Mystrogen? Trust me, some music's coming, man. Don't worry about that. This year, we got shit popping. I'm telling you that right damn now. I've been doing a bunch of features for different people, which has been really fun, really good. But, you know, and then obviously working like abroad a lot with touring and whatnot has kind of set me back in getting solo stuff done. So I've really been focusing on that a lot more. And yeah, I've already got some bits that are getting ready to just pop out there. So you definitely look out for that. Some Mother Lover music coming, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Pitch 92. We got something coming. Yeah. Yep. What else are you lot saying out there? Hey, Robbie Love, first fire in the booth. I know. It's mad, isn't it? Who would have thunk that? I bet people think that's weird. What? Is it? Yeah, there's someone, who was it? Someone was saying about, I think they said Bladderwrack, don't do it. There was a comment talking about Bladderwrack, don't do it. But it's like, all right, what? Why? How? What do you mean? You know, explain. And the one thing I know about Bladderwrack, because it's really high in iodine, like a lot of the sea vegetables are, but especially Bladderwrack, that's sort of the main, you know, thing. So you shouldn't have too much of it. You know, have it once or twice, two, 3 times max a week. You know what I mean? Take a day off here and there. And that's all it is, man. You know, and especially when the things are natural, when they ain't been tampered with. You know, the most that can happen is that you just, you know, you have like an allergic sort of reaction, but you just cut back on it a bit. You see, man, go easy on a dose. Or how you, depends on how you prepare it as well, I guess. Yeah, man. Alan Stephen, nah, I've never done anything with Lewis Parker, funny enough. Like, I think we were supposed to do something. But nah, there's a few people you'd be surprised that I haven't actually worked with before. It's just that we've been in the same circles. And I also think that people from the sort of onlooker's point of view, we might have looked more connected than people thought, you know, we might have looked more connected than we really were, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you're always seeing us on stage, similar stages, or, you know, backstage, like, but that would be about it in a sense, you know. It was never really, yeah. But yeah, shout out to I saw Funky DL, man. You know, let's talk about it, man. The flavor of the month. Shout out to 279 first of all. Tony Spread Love for putting together a wicked event, man. It was down at the O2 Islington.
The first of 3 events, apparently. Yeah.
Oh, the first of 3 events.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't know it was just 3 events.
There might be. I don't know, but do you reckon there'll be one for the 2010s, mate? Would there be?
Well,
I think they're taking it up again as a full-time night. It's going to be at the O2 Islington, the Islington O2 Academy every month, I think.
Yeah.
But I think these first 3 are all the decades.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. 80s, 90s.
80s, 90s, 2000s. But there should be a 2010 one, surely.
Yeah, there should be, really. Yeah. It's, you know, that decade's gone, so why not?
Yeah.
You know, but, I mean, all in all, man, it was a wicked event, though. So there were some really good, like, you know, what should I say, trailblazers in the building. Like, really good performances by them. You know what I mean? Shout out to Caveman. Shout out to Blade. You know what I mean? Big up Rodney P. Who else did we see? We saw, The Force.
The Force.
Yeah, The Force. When I walked in, The Force was on, and he got to his last 2 tracks or something like that.
Oh, you came in on that? Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it, though. He proper smacked it. I was like, right, boy. Yeah, man. And so, yeah, it was a wicked atmosphere as well. Seeing a lot of like heads that I ain't seen in a while. Like I said, I saw Funky DL, which I hadn't seen him for a while, so that was really cool. Ryan Proctor was there. Shout out to Ryan Proctor, man, top journalist, always representing the scene. Who else? I saw Joe Buddha, you know what I mean, top producer from up there, Knots and them ways, you know what I mean, Joe Buddha, boy, that was wicked. I saw Intense, you know what I mean, a couple of the Berry crew, man, them there. I was like, jeez, long time no see, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good, man. Who else? I'm missing some names, man. Caners, I saw Caners. Bristol was in the building.
Oh yeah, I saw nice one.
Yeah, nice one. JM was
bumped
there.
into him in the car park.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
After yes.
With Caners as well. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to nice one, JM. He was there, man. Rocking out. I think he was front row, boy, not playing around. And yeah, man. So it was like that. It was just like bumping into so many different heads from all the eras. Shout out to Daily Grinder. I saw Daily Grinder was there. Who else? There's a couple other people, man, that I'm forgetting for sure. But yeah, it was nice seeing a lot of people enjoying themselves as well. You know what I mean? Singing along to the tunes. Like, I think Blade definitely set it off neatly with his set. Like, he kind of showed how you could still rock a crowd no matter when and where. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Obviously, he feels like he's done with it all, but he's still got it, man. And yeah, it was good to see people smiling, people well, people enjoying themselves, and feeling, you know what I mean? Feeling the spirit, that hip hop spirit, man. Dolby, big up Dolby, man. Yes, he was there as well, Dolby D. Jeez. A lot of people, man. Speedo. Yeah, man, it's good energy. Good energy. So yeah, Dan got quite a bit of footage there, so we'll probably run a bit of VT on that.
Yeah.
In the coming weeks.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a fun little weekend, man. Good to see that's there's like a gap being bridged by those sort of events happening, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There are people there that didn't really get on for some time, and then they were in the same building and cool, everything's cool. There was no beef. I'm going to put out no names out there. You know what I mean? Right, yeah. Top flight security of the world and all that. Big up Logic. Yeah, I saw Logic was there.
I see Logic there.
Yeah, shout out to Logic. And yeah, Billy Business, Cutmaster Swift. Yeah, man. It was heavy. Shorty Blitz was there. I didn't actually see him, but I saw pictures that he was there. You know what I mean? It's like, connections being made.
Jazz T.
Yeah, big up to Jazz T, of course, man. Holding it down on the hey, big up to Daddy Skits as well.
Yeah,
Skits saw Daddy Skits. That's it. Jeez, man. Yeah.
There was some real old school cats there as well. Some, Normski.
Normski was there. Yeah.
Johnsy D.
Johnsy D. Yes, man. Salute to the what? And who was it? A few of them actually. A couple of them shouted out about Covent Garden. Big up to the old school Covent Garden crew. And it's like every time you hear it, all you can do is picture like, wow, I wonder, was it like this? And
I remember going there and looking at it, but probably when I was about 8, there's a photograph of me with my Nike. What were they called? The
shell suit.
No, but they're like a sort of
vest
with the blue bottom half and the grey top half. They had a certain name though. It was like like the Nike tops. It was like a zip up hooded top.
Oh.
It was like the sort of breaker.
Oh,
I think they call
right.
it like Windjammer or something like that.
Oh, Windschiefer or something.
Something, yeah. Someone will know.
Windsheaf.
Someone in the chat will know. But there's a picture of me when I was about 8 in Covent Garden, standing in front of all the graffiti there. Because do you remember?
Wow.
Covent Garden back in the 80s was like a building site. It had like big hoardings all the way around the centre of it, and they was all graffitied. And then people used to set up lino there and do break-in for, busking sort of thing. So they would sort of set up like break-in battles in Covent Garden for the tourists.
Oh, right.
I think it was that year my brother got some lino for his birthday. It was the best birthday present my mum and dad ever got him, because they was like, what do you want? A bit of lino? I want some lino. I want to be a breakdancer. And they're like, all right. We'll get a bit of lino. And then the year later, I think they put it in the kitchen.
Yeah. I was going to say...
when he realised it weren't for him.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm done with that, man. Yeah, I was wondering if they got it from the kitchen in the first place. I'm like, I'll just get a lino in the kitchen, see what he's going to do with it. Like, what's he going to do with the lino?
Yeah, windbreaker. That's
windbreaker. That's it. Yeah, windbreaker.
But Black Einstein sounds Windrunner. I think it was Windrunner. Yeah, I think that's what I said, didn't I? Windrunner.
Yeah, I think you might have said that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Windrunner.
I'm pretty sure I did remember it as a name.
Windrunner, windbreaker.
I think that's what the actual name of it was. Nike Windrunner. That was the name of the.
Oh, it was Nike. You said Adidas. Nike Windrunner. Okay. Yeah, those are the days, man.
I think I got it from World of Sport.
Oh, wow.
North End Road.
Sport. Well, yeah, that was like the spot.
The bloke who was in there, I can't remember his name. He had a glass eye, but my nan knew him. So
you got a little.
We scared a little bit discount. Give me the old wink. Give me the old wink back. Then we get it cheaper, slightly, to put 10% off because he knows your nan.
Yeah. That's when you know you're part of the family.
No, it weren't World of Sport. What was the other one called? There was one down the other end of from World of Sport was at your end of North End Road. And then there was another one at the other end. There's a sports shop, sort of opposite Barker's.
Yeah. Oh, right. Wow. That's
I can't remember what that was called. But yeah, they definitely done them in there.
Yeah.
And I got a light blue one, and everyone else had like a dark blue one. So always had to stand out a little bit.
Those were the days, isn't it?
I'll find that picture. It's a pretty funny picture, man. 'Cause my feet, I've got about size 11 feet, and I'm only 8 years old.
Russ. Jeez, man. Bigfoot. Bigfoot. Where's Bigfoot Dan? That's how you nicknamed back then.
There's big ears back then.
Was it big ears?
That's what it's called me, big ears. Because my ears haven't changed size. They was always the size they are now. So when I was little, I had a little head with massive, great big ears.
This is like you're growing into your ears. You're slowly growing into your ears. Imagine that. Imagine if that was like the norm. Everything was like
baby's born with just massive
like your feet, your feet, your ears, your hands. Everything was big, and
they're all folded up. So when you come out, like when you're born, they're just like folded in. As you grow, they just unfurl.
They start working slowly, gradually. By the time you're 18, like you can pick up things and all that.
Hear properly, smell things.
Wow. You're getting babysitted for life.
But there was someone said earlier about, I just wanted to just go back to that. User unknown. Hip hop should be more about competition than everyone patting each other on the backs. The original spirit of battling with skills got lost the moment everyone felt they needed to be friends. I don't know.
Let me read that again. Yeah. So wait. Yeah. He's right in a sense.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
He's right in a sense. Like, I think... so what I'd say is, that in the UK, it often feels like people are sort of standing behind some type of mask. Like they're not being who they really are. And that's like quite important with all of this because it's in a sense, you kind of don't want to be too attached to your ego with all of it because like what he's talking about, there is that level of competition that everybody's on, whether it's your beat maker, DJ, you know what I mean, your MC, there's a level of competition. And what I noticed in the States, whenever I was there, you know, working with different artists and whatnot, there was this thing of like the competition, but it's outwardly there. It's like they'll even talk about, yo, I'm gonna kill you on the, you know, like, what you got, you know, that kind of thing. Whereas in the UK, people are like, they'll be like hiding their stuff and they don't want you to hear it until it's done, type thing. And do you know what I mean? And which like I would have done that as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you realize like this is, say we're making a track together. It's like this, me doing my best to outdo you, and you is gonna make this track even better. So if you're doing the same thing, you're doing it. If everyone's doing that, and I do believe that that's what User Unknown is talking about. Is like once it became this thing of like, oh yeah, let's do a track, man. Yeah, we should do it. You know, everyone was kind of pally, friendly, and then everyone's doing tracks with each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, think about in the States, like, it just became that, like, the posse cut, who's on it? Yeah, Nas, Jada, you know, like, it's just constantly the same people. Killer Cam's on it, or, you know, Cameron's on it. And then when that thing starts happening, it all kind of blends in and becomes the same thing. That there's no level of, it doesn't feel like there's any level of competition going on because you don't really hear it in the tunes anyway. But whereas, you know, scenario down to friggin' who shot your remix, you know, you're just like, rad. Yeah, people were doing their best to kind of stand out.
Outdo each other.
Yeah, outdo each other.
Yeah.
And so there is that in UK, but it's very hidden. It's very like just that UK way of doing things. It's all reserved, in a reserved manner. It's not in an open manner. Whereas it being in an open manner actually makes it more of a competitive and creative thing.
Yeah.
Do you hear what I mean? But
yeah.
I just don't know whether the personalities are open enough to handle that. It's like, yo, don't, you know what I mean? Don't worry, you can try outdo me on the next thing, or yo, that was on you. Just yeah, for real, man. I should have went in a bit more. You know what I mean? Just move on. Like, we got to stop thinking like our last thing is the only thing people are ever gonna hear. It's like you want to just constantly be making music, as opposed to thinking like, right, I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to put out too much. Just, you know what I mean? Let them simmer with that, and you know, things become stale then.
It's not always going to be like your best thing you do. Also, like you say, it pushes. You know, if people turn up with half a verse and then write the rest of the verse after they've heard everyone else's verse, and you know, trying to outdo people in that way, and that's all good. But also, it's afterwards. It's like you don't have to then like hate that person because they done something better than you, or you done something better than them. It's that's sort of what you're more said afterwards. Is that like, you know, it's like part of hip hop was peace, love, and unity from the beginning. And so even though someone might have done you on that one thing, you know, whether it was that battle or that verse or whatever it was, it doesn't mean that, and like you said about the ego thing, it doesn't mean you've got to take that personally and be like, right, I'm never talking to you again. It's like, no, you've got a next opportunity. You've got to do better next time.
Yeah. And it's,
that's it. And hope they don't take it personally next time.
Yeah, there are going to be people that can't handle that. And I think, you know, it's like, I think understanding there's a culture that even that in itself is a culture, is like being able to, you know, like I grew up, we used to cuss each other, all like my friends. We used to grow up just cussing each other.
Yeah.
So there's always something you're looking at. From that, you're just looking at people, what's funny about them? Oh, what makes you laugh? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of intrinsic now. And I think that if people were from the beginning a bit more kind of open with the whole competitive side of it, like saying like, bruv, watch, yeah, I'm going to outdo you, you know what I mean? Watch, what you got, you know? But instead, there's this kind of, you know, it's this hidden, you see it written on the face, like, that verse, yeah, that's a heavy verse, bruv, yeah, you smacked it, you know, but it's like written on the face that you fucking bastard, man, you was fucking, you know? That shit's annoying, man. people were more open with it, we'd probably have a bit more of a laugh with it, and like
Yeah.
be open to help each other. Like,
Yeah.
yo, maybe you should say this, maybe you should say that. Back in the day, I used to notice there was a bit more of that, but now, yeah, people are a bit more.
What, so people, and also I think we talked about this before, is that now it's all like over the internet. You're not really getting that interaction that you need between two people on a track. You know, they used to say about Glyn Johns, the producer, right? The producer, he produced so much stuff, all sorts of music from the 60s onwards. But his whole thing was that he wants, you know, the band to be playing in the room together because they're interacting. Everything's about an interaction. It's like the drummer is reacting to the bass player, the bass player is reacting to the drummer, the guitarist is, you know, everyone's reacting to the drummer. He's keeping the pace. But if you record all those instruments separately, it loses something. So it's the same with any track. Is when you record all those parts separately, without being even in the same room, is that it loses something. If you're not working together, you know, it's not a collaboration anymore. It just becomes like a clinical track, you know, where everyone's done their part separately. Whereas when you're together doing something, you can ask, could you say that line for me? And then I'll come in after that line, and then, you know, you can do like trade-off verses and choruses where you're working on it together, and you know, you can definitely hear when two people have worked together on something.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Compared to when they've worked just in isolation.
Yeah.
And having a producer there to help, you know, string it all together and keep them both on track as well.
Yeah, because more minds are better than, you know, less. So it's always good to have that kind of input on, I think, in that field of music production.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's very important, I think, because especially people that you trust anyway. But yeah, people ain't lying. Someone mentioned something.
I did see, just for you more, I did see DJ Random there.
Yeah. We saw DJ Random. Yeah. I don't know if you. Yeah, I saw DJ Random in it.
Liz Williams, sports. Was it Sports World? Is it out? That Sports World? Was it called Sports World?
Yeah, I think it might be called Sports World.
Liz Williams, how do you know it was called Sports World? I need to know how you knew it was called Sports World.
It's always called Sports World, man. It's one of them places. Yeah, man. But you know, you just got to think about like hip hop being that thing where people, you know, you hear about they had beefs, but instead of like actually going at it with each other, going to war, they would go and have dance competitions or you know, battles.
Yeah.
And then obviously the MC thing came in, the graffiti thing. There were battles within that, like who could outdo whoever. And so
there's films about that.
Yeah, that's always going to be the essence of what drives for one to have a certain a level of skill. Do you know what I mean? The drive is always going to be like, yo, I want to outdo everyone. If I've got to spit this bar, or if I've got to do this piece, or if I've got to make this beat, or if I want to outdo anyone else that's trying to do it for the same reason as me.
Yeah.
And then that essence drifts off into other things, you know, whether it be the way people dressed, whether it be the cadence they used, the flows they used, the diction, you know what I mean, the language that they used.
Yeah.
Colors, you know, like so many different things where it's like people are out trying to outdo each other in, you know, and unfortunately that essence moved on into how much money you can make, how many albums you're selling, how many, you know, streams, you know, all that side of it, that the original essence wasn't really, it didn't care about all that.
No.
All that mattered was like, is this shit that I'm producing right here, creating right here, is this better than,
you
know?
But like you said earlier about the Jay-Z coming into it, you know, it's like, then it becomes about numbers and units and shifting. You know,
50 Cent.
Like how many.
If you ain't selling no units, you ain't pop off, man. You know what I'm saying? Ja ain't sell no units, man. You know what I'm saying? The first week, like after 50 Cent, that's when that shit started happening. Where people started, yo, what's the but like even blogs started like blogging about the first week, what they call it, forecast and all that.
Yeah.
They forecasted to sell 40,000 their first week, which was quite a huge drop.
Yeah.
You're like, bruv, these lot are going in now. And I think that all of that sort of stuff really started messing.
Yeah, and like how many mixtapes you'd sold, and it all became, even mixtapes, it became about like numbers, and you know, people were selling mixtapes to old people or an old lady in the street, and they still that as a sale, even though she's never going to listen to it. You know, it's not important that old lady brought your CD, but
sound scans, man. He ain't sold enough sound scans. You know what I'm saying? He ain't pop off. G-Unit.
But you know, G unit, it's like a unit, it's like a unit of sale. You got 50 Cent, it's like a unit of currency.
Yeah. It's all about money, man.
Jay-Z was all like talking about weights and measurements. All of his rhymes were all about weights and measurements.
Bare weights and measurements, man.
It's like he's
100
really,
on my wrist.
It's all like ounces, keys, grams, you know, everything, like analogies for measurement, different ways of talking about measurement. So it all became about really numbers and all that around about that same time.
King Chico tried to bring up my bottle again. This bottle, it's just cork. It's cork around the bottle, so it's just protection for the glass. You know what I mean? There's little rubber bands, not rubber bands, but you know, they're bands made out of rubber. You know what I mean? Keeps it clean though, just in case I drop it. You know how us stoners do. You know what I mean? So what, is it just Stardog you lot are on out there? Because that's the only strain I saw looking through the comment section. The Uncommon Senses are commonly smoking Stardog nowadays, it seems. Oh, the symbol on the bottom of it was it's the flower of life. Isn't it? Yeah, the flower of life. You know what I mean? It gives it some frequencies, I do believe. It lets off some frequencies and makes the water become alive. What do they call it? What's the word for it?
What, the like the different state of water?
Yeah. Not activated, but oh man, I hate that when the word just skips your mind. But yeah, it's like functional water, structured water. That's it, structured water.
Yes, we got it.
Yes. I knew there was a unction. There was something with a U and a C involved.
Some sort of Latin word.
Yeah.
Scientific.
So it's just a Latin word to you now. Yeah. Imbued. That's a word, boy. Canna tea, THC gummies, and packing a bong with more pollen. What you more? Jeez. That's living that life out there, boy. Yeah, I got some Sunset Sherbet. Also some Zushi. Zushi as well. It's quite nice, man. Very tasty. Yeah, King Chico talking about Stardog for days. Yeah, so it seems like, man, Stardog is the one, the only.
Let's see if my brother's got back to me. Oh, no, he hasn't.
Yeah, that's it. Imbues the water with good energies. It imbues it. That's interesting because infuse would be fusing with the water, but it's imbues because it buses with the water. Yeah, I don't know if that works. Busing. But yeah, imbues. I'm going to look at that word, man. Very interesting. Yeah, mother lovers. So yeah, man. Looking forward to the next flavor of the month. I do believe it's going to be March the 26th, I think my memory serves correct. 279 was talking about it.
Was it Apollo Sports? Down North. That's my brother.
You know what? The worst thing, do you know the worst thing about this? Is that I can actually say, like, it might have been Apollo Sports. Like, all the names sound familiar, but they could have been the names that they changed into, because there were a few, you know what I mean?
I think it is Apollo
shops.
Sports.
There's two shops opposite.
Apollo Sports, 330 North End Road.
Yeah.
It's got to be that.
They morphed, boy. Again, one road called this, then it's called that. Right. All right, let's see where number man 279, there he is. Let me get this next lineup up. Yeah, so I was right. 26th of March, you're going to get the Lab 79 crew. Oh, Lab 79. So you know that's going to be fire. Do you know what I mean? Get Skirms, Manage, Apex Zero. Oh, man. How can I forget any of the names?
Rain.
You should get Rain, yes. Dre Styles is going to be there. So Freshers Crew, Dre Styles. How do you say that? Dejen Loki. And then you're going to get Axe as well. Or Aches. And of course, DJ 279. So you got some live PAs right there. And you're going to get open mic as well. Time is going to be from 7 till 11. The dress code is hip-hop. Ticketmaster.co.uk for tickets, £7 in advance at the Academy, Islington. That's the Academy 2, Islington, London, N1, OPS. Make sure you get your asses down there, mother lovers. Yeah. Feb 20... No. It's March 26th. Yeah, very interesting, man.
Yeah, and I think it's going to encourage, like, each time they do it, it's going to sort of bring up, obviously, a new conversation about that decade as well. So I like the way that he's organising these things into decades, because it sort of focuses people's attention, helps them remember, you know, that particular period of time.
Yeah, definitely, man. It was good, man. There were some highlights as well, boy.
Yeah, they had some breaking there, didn't they, as well? Before you come down, they had a couple of breaking battles as well. But it's quite a tight circle, so it was hard to sort of get in there and see what it was doing. But yeah, there was a couple of little battles popped off in there.
No, heavy. Yeah, man. The breakers are loving it in there as well. They were getting busy even during the live shows, man. Yeah, a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Good hip hop energy. Big love. Do you know what I mean? That's what it felt like, man.
Yeah, and it was packed as well.
Yeah.
It was absolutely rammed, wasn't it, for like a Sunday. I think it's because it's maybe everything was a bit earlier, you know, so it felt like people could get up there and get out again without it being too much of a sort of late night on a Sunday. Because it's obviously the older lot. It's the 80s crowd, you know. So
when they get to bed a bit earlier.
I see a few people popping statins in there. I see a few statins being popped. I see a few people knocking the statins. Well. That bit where Rodney P handed out the rum. I see a few people put statins in their mouth before they took a bit of rum. Just before,
yeah, he's sure it's a statin. It wasn't like, oh, I took it back to the 80s, mate. I did a double dip dove. Boy, mate, it was fucking lovely. Rodney P was up there. Jesus Christ, mate. Yeah, it could have been that. No. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. A lot of the elder crew were there. Still looking well, though. Do you know what I mean? Big up to Paul H, of course, man.
Yeah.
Award-winning, you know what I mean? Legendary photographer. You know what I mean? Big up to Hip Hop Connection, boy. We lost our Hip Hop Connection, didn't we? Hey, the magazine, that is. You know what I mean? Can't lie. Yeah, shout to the crew locked in. So let me big you up. Oh, shout out to Gematria Wombat. Hand pink waving. Yeah. We just thought we'd check in with you, mother lovers. We didn't have a guest this week, but next week we should be all good. You know what I mean? To give you lots some more ish you might not never know nothing about.
We've also got the Odyssey channel now.
Yes.
Which we're going to be live streaming from at some point. Maybe some of the more controversial shows will be just streamed on Odyssey instead.
Yeah, exactly, because we don't want to, scare people.
No, especially YouTube, especially the people at YouTube. Don't want to scare them.
Yeah. They're
they
very
get jumpy.
Really
Yeah.
Very jumpy, jumping through hoops.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, gonna go see Homeboy Sandman tomorrow at the Jazz Cafe. If you lot are there, I'll see you, mother lovers. You know what I mean? Big up to all the crew that were locked in, man. Alan Stephen, Liz Williams, or Ellen Stephens. Yeah, we didn't even get to the bottom of that. Shout out to Yamor. Big up to King Chico, the Famalam, User Unknown, Black Einstein. I said Liz Williams, IBMCs. Yep. We appreciate you, mother lovers, locking in. Robbie, Love, of course. Yeah, man. Mr. Green. You know what I mean? Mr. Green in the building. Of course. Yeah, we'll definitely get to the bottom of some of these. We got to do some more Mys Investigates. I've realized I ain't done no investigations in a minute. You know what I mean? We got to get to the bottom of some real...
I was actually thinking that the other day. Yeah.
Big up.
If anyone's got anything they want us to investigate, anyone in the chat, you think that there's something that we could go and investigate?
I'm up for it, man. I'm up for it. Anything you want me to investigate, trust me. You can go look at my resume. Go look at my records. I got receipts. I'm going to say that, innit? Yeah. I got receipts, bruv, yeah? Go and look at my resume and see. I've investigated all types of shit you might not never know nothing about. Type in Maestro Investigates on YouTube. You find out. Big up to Iris, Richie, and T for the super chat. We really appreciate that, man. That's a lot of love right there. And make sure you hit up the cmusboss.co.uk, mother lovers, for all your quality sea vegetables. Yeah. Trust me, man. Time come, I'm going to, preview some music on here. I got to make sure that Uncommon Senses get to hear it first. Do you know what I mean? The time comes soon. Don't worry about that. But for now, we're definitely going to get into some more investigations, chat to a few more different minds, find out some things we didn't know before. Shout out to Packet Less or Packet Loss. I'm saying that wrong, pardon me. Yes. I just got back to the top again. Stroop waffles. Stroop waffles. Yeah, I battered the Stroop waffles, boy. Jesus. Yeah, I went in on them. I can't do that anymore, man. Yo, much love, man. Thanks a lot for locking in. You know what time it is right about now, bitches and bitchettes. No discrimination. Yo, this has been some shit you might not never know nothing about. That's Dan DNA. My name is Mys Diggy. And guess what, mother lovers? We're out.